Hello, beautiful beings. Love and laughter. Tanya Rainbow Horse here. Thank you so much for showing up to receive the message. This video is about frustration. This is one of the topics that I talk about a lot because I've experienced a lot of it. And this morning, after my morning meditation, as most morning meditations usually have some bout of moving through some kind of frustration or moving through some kind of energy, because when I'm in my morning meditation, I'm moving energy up through my energy centers, and it's just usually like I have some little breakthrough usually in the morning after meditation. And I noticed that I was feeling frustrated and I was wanting to control things. And so I went and grabbed a piece of artwork that I'd started a while ago, and I just started putting some sparkly paint on it, just focusing my energy on that, channeling it in. And I got to witness frustration in a little bit different level. And what frustration was telling me while I was working through this, doing my art, was that I'm frustrated because I'm fighting the process. I'm fighting myself. I'm not letting go. And that's why the frustration shows up a lot, because I'm a person who fights myself. And I know, probably a lot of us out there are. And being an energy sensitive person, I never really thought about frustration standing up for being, a way of me fighting with myself. So now I get to look at my frustration in a different light. It's funny how the energy work moves through. When you're in that spot, you find an activity to move the energy through, and the energy signature shows you exactly what you need to see. So I was putting this glittery puffy paint on my painting, and this one paint that I wanted to use the most kept getting clogged and jammed with the sparkles. It would squeeze out the paint or the glue, but it wouldn't squeeze out the sparkles, so I had to keep poking this pen in there to get it to go. And I could see my irritation with it. There were moments where in my mind I was cussing at it and just really angry and irritated, but really what that was telling me is I was angry and irritated with myself, that I wasn't letting go. Letting the flow go, not letting what needs to fall off, letting what needs to move through just move through without holding on or arguing it or fighting it. And so I witnessed myself like cussing at myself, and I was just like, okay, just had a little laugh with that. And I finally cut the tip of the puffy paint, thinking it won't get clogged this time. And so I started doing it, and it got clogged again. And so it kind of was showing me this puffy paint and how my energy gets clogged up when I hold on, and then I get frustrated. And then through that frustration, I get to work through it and letting go. It's like the old fighting the new, but the old is trying to hold on a little too strongly. And so I got to witness that. On a different level, because now that my frustration momentum is coming down, like I used to be really fired up about being frustrated, and now it's coming down, it's more mellow, it's more easygoing, it's easier to look at and witness. Thanks, Ravens. And so now I get a little more intimate with it, because it's not so charged as it once was, where it was harder to look into it because it was a charged energy. But now it's like, okay, there's a little spark there, and I can witness and observe it from a way that I wasn't able to before. But eventually I did work through the energy through that paint. And I love that when we pick an activity and we're working through something, that it can show us something about what we're experiencing. It's the same thing that I experience when I do pipe ceremony sometimes, is the pipe will get clogged or not clogged in a certain area, and that's telling me that I'm fighting, I'm holding on, I'm frustrated. And through that ceremony, it's helped me move it. So, what are we learning here about frustration? If you're a person who experiences it, energy sensitive, who finds themselves experiencing frustration a lot, give yourself a space to observe it. And maybe you're showing signs that you are a person who fights too. Now, I've known that I'm, a strong-willed person. I can be a fighter, but I didn't really know that the level of it. And so this pattern of frustration is showing me that, hey, this energy is still alive in your patterns. So let's find a way to move through it. Let's find a way to heal it. Let's find a way to cleanse it and clear it. And, I was able to send myself some love while I was working through that, and to give myself some grace moving through it. I used to get frustrated about being frustrated, which made me more frustrated. And then it would go on into me being so amped up in frustration that I felt like I needed to be running around, doing a million things, trying to escape it, or stuff it down, or not deal with it. And so now it's gently saying, here you go. Here's a nugget for you to move through, cleanse through. And I got to do that through art. It's a lot greater for me to experience moving through it in art or a ceremony than it is to deal with it with people. Because, well, my child is, the source, in front of me and with me pretty much every day. And so it's easy for that frustration to slip off on her. And that's where it was going. I wanted to control something, but I knew that it was an old program. And so that's why I went and got a piece of artwork and put that energy into the artwork instead of trying to think about, work through, move through, push, whatever, the energy with her. And as I was moving through that with myself, because that's an energy I would prefer to work through by myself. So I don't, if a lashing out does come out, it's to myself. And it just, that internal introspection of observing myself, moving through it, working through it, is really where the love is, because I get to witness the energy of it and how I can acknowledge it next time, how I can witness it next time, how I can hold space for it next time. I will know next time that I'm feeling like that instead of trying to control my outside circumstances to go grab a project or go write or turn that energy into something else versus expressing it through frustration outwardly, I can witness it internally and move through it with an activity. I've noticed that exercise is beginning to be, a go-to for me, which hasn't always been. Moving my body, making action with the denser energies. When before I would probably just sit in it and hold on to it and swim around in it, and I'm not allowing myself to think about it over and over and over again. I'm able to pull myself out of that continual overthinking about it. And so that's been a huge shift and relief in moving it faster out of my body, or transforming it faster. And I'm remembering to be kind and loving to myself when I'm in these energies more and more. So I can only suspect, if I keep this going and amplify, that something really beautiful is coming from it. And I am feeling better and better. My energy's starting to feel lighter and lighter. And that's very beautiful. Well, I hope this video has been insightful in some way for you. given you an insight, helped you move some energy, maybe made you aware of frustration you might be in a loop with, or a pattern with, or how that might function for you. That's really why I love doing those videos, is, you know, there's strategies and ideas and thoughts of learning and doing all these beautiful things, but a lot of people don't just take the time to talk about their feelings and what sensations they're feeling in their body and how they move through it, and like the perspectives they see while they're moving through emotions. And so, you know, me being an energy sensitive empath, it's like one of my favorite things to do, because it helps me to anchor it in, it helps me to embody it deeper, and they're learning tips. You never know who's going to find some value in hearing about this. You know, sometimes, you know, we get in our emotions and we don't know what we're experiencing till maybe we hear about somebody else experiencing. You're like, oh, that's what I've had, and then you get an aha moment. Even if it's just the smallest little aha moment, it's worth it. Anyways, thank you for showing up to listen here, and I send you much love and laughter. Aho.